So we are back with an interesting movie on what if Naruto became the new elf lord. Naruto and Overlord crossover. Summary. There is darkness everywhere, but to fight it, there will always be light. But before we start, if you want more stuff like this, then be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if possible, share this video with your friends. Now let's start the story. What is this? Naruto muttered as he saw the white blank space and his own body below, but he couldn't interact with it. He was utterly confused at this happening, as he was supposed to have become whole by combining with his darkness. I can feel the change in my mindset, but why am I here? He muttered, hoping for an answer. You are here because of me, child. An old voice gave him the reply that he wanted, but he did not recognize him. Who are you and why? Naruto asked with a defensive stance, though he knew he couldn't do anything with this spiritual body. My name is Hagoromo Otsutsuki, also known as the Sage of Six Paths. I have brought you here because I can't have you interfere with the world, the old man said in a calm tone. What does that mean? Naruto muttered when his gaze zoomed on to his own body walking out of the waterfall with the same naive personality. What is the meaning of this? He shouted in anger, and he could feel the built-in rage surfacing. Apologies, my child, but the world needs that Naruto, not you. You are just like any other human and cannot bond with tail beasts, while that Naruto represents an ideal with no flaws in his mercy and acceptance, the sage said with a neutral tone. Who are you to decide for me what is best? I care not what the world needs. I have endured this all to get the love I deserved, and you decided that I am unworthy. Fucking old man, get me back. Naruto wanted to lash out, but he couldn't do anything. I am sorry, but with you this world will end. If you had become whole earlier, then I wouldn't have stopped you, as you could have trained more effectively than that Naruto, but now it's already too late. The sage shook his head as he looked at him with gentle gaze. What do you mean? Naruto asked as he remembered that they were in war. A monster that can destroy the world is about to be unleashed as things are developing, and nothing can stop it from happening. That Naruto can get the power from all beasts, while you won't even gain the acceptance of the fox. Naruto went silent for a while, and with a resigned sigh he said, Fine, just send me to my parents already. What's the point of this farce? I am not killing you off. I am unable to let you exist beside that Naruto, but I can send you to another universe to live a new life. With no body? Naruto said with a dull look. I will give you a new body along with some gifts. I am unable to give too much, but even small gifts would help. Just so you know, I don't know which universe you will enter, only that you will arrive safely, as there are countless universes and I am not that capable. The sage muttered in a caring tone. Then do it. I do not wish to see that disgusting thing anymore. Naruto spat with contempt, looking at his body. No message for friends? I have no friends. They aren't worthy of it. Just make sure to remind the trash to respond to the confession of the Hyuga girl. I don't care what he chooses, but don't leave people hanging. Also, don't let him choose the pink girl, or I swear to torture you. Naruto said after a thought. He wanted to let it go, as it will only cause pain. He did believe in Konohamaru and the Ichirakus. Everyone else had come with a price. I understand. Goodbye, Naruto. The sage said with a sad smile as Naruto disappeared. What a sad child. I wish I could have interfered more. In a world filled with wonder and magical beings, Naruto appeared in the garden of a certain state in the capital of Baharuth Empire. Naruto stood tall as his body manifested with his usual clothes on, along with a spear on his back and gourd on his hip. What are these for? Does he not know that I have never used a weapon except a blood kunai? And what is the wine gourd for? Is he telling me to drink away my sorrows? Shit, that old man is pissing me off. I really didn't want to leave. Even if they had not been my friends, normally they did become close. Gaara, Konohamaru and Iruka. It really hurts that I will never see them and they never know. Naruto mused as he looked at the surroundings. There really was no choice, and I should try to move on. They will live and be happy, so that is all good. Naruto thought as he closed his eyes and turned on the sage mode. It's faster than before. Well, should be expected with the Kyuubi replaced in the sage's blessing. Naruto concluded as he thought on it, but he still planned to make it better, removing the time limit and the time to activate it. The sage senses spread throughout the city, and he could judge the life force of the beings living in the city. No chakra, and their life force is not that strong, so they shouldn't be a challenge unless they have abilities that can make up for the physical gap. Naruto concluded from his search and started walking towards the mansion whose garden he had appeared on. Before exploring, let me check my chakra. Naruto muttered as he powered up and his chakra rose out of his body as it was too large. It's a lot higher than before, even more than what I had expected after removing the restraint of the Kyuubi on my chakra. Naruto was happy at the increase in his reserves and control. His focus went to the mansion while he made 11 clones. He made 10 to charge up natural energy and the last one to seal them in scrolls and deliver to him. There are some disgusting filth living in this place and 2 innocent souls. I cannot let them suffer. Naruto muttered in annoyance and hate as his darkness had become part of him. He hated certain things and reacted as such. Naruto entered the mansion, which had many useless trinkets, but he felt things were missing. He directly went for the targets of his wrath and entered the room where he saw a man and woman with luxurious clothing. He had not senses anyone else, meaning these people were wasting money on something beyond their levels. Who? The man demanded, but his voice stopped as Naruto's chakra pressure was put on him. His body shivered and his bones cracked under the pressure. Filth that cares not for their children and abandons them, do not need to exist. Naruto thought as his hand pointed at the 2. The wind picked up and the 2 were shredded to pieces as they were just normal people. My first kill. I thought it will make me feel worse, but I feel nothing but satisfaction that I finally dealt with these trashes. It was really a regret of mine and one thing that I must have looked away from, hidden with the darkness. Naruto said in a calm tone as he walked away, leaving no evidence to implicate him as he came in like a shadow and left like one. Mister, who are you? A little girl with blonde hair and blue eyes asked him as he entered their room where they stayed most of their time, waiting for their older sister. Hello. My name is Naruto and I am here to help you. What is your name, little girl? Naruto said with a smile. He loved little kids who were pure like these children as they made him feel at peace. Now he knew why, as he could sense emotions which were directly fed to his darkness most of the time. My name is Eureka. Save us from what? Our older sister won't let anything bad happen to us. Eureka said in an innocent tone while the other sister watched from the bed. Both of them were twins. To save you from the bad adults that stay in this house. Naruto said as he sat down on one of the seats. Yes, they are bad, but our sister will protect us. Kuaderika said as she stood close to her twin. Is that so? Okay. I will wait for your sister and then we will decide, but for now, how about a magic show? Naruto said with a gentle tone as he used the basic genjutsu to change the world around them. Finally I can do genjutsu. I am thankful to you, old man, but it will take time for me to forgive this event. Today was a great harvest. I should be able to pay 2% of the debt. I hope they haven't gotten more useless things and I hope the girls are happy. Arki mused as she walked to her residence. She would have run away with her sisters, but then she would be counted as a fugitive as she was not allowed to take custody of her sisters. This situation made her a slave to her parents' whims and she had to work hard for the sake of the debt as she knew they would sell the little ones. Arki walked to their room and she could hear the innocent laughter which brought a smile to her face. Good, they are happy. She opened the door to the room and bracing herself to their hugs, but they never came and she felt something affect her mind, but it got dispersed on contact. Who are you? What have you done to them? Arki asked as she could see Naruto sitting on the bed with her sisters in a daze. She gripped her wand tight but didn't attack as she was unsure and her sisters were in the danger zone. Naruto is my name and I am a friend. The little one are seeing the outside world in an illusion I created which shows them my adventure. The illusion was also tried on you, but your mental prowesses are strong, so it got cancelled. You can sit down now. I won't hurt you and want to help you as your sisters ask me for help. It should be done in several minutes. Naruto explained in a calm tone. He had heard about Arki from the little ones and knew she was a mage. Why are you doing this? What is your purpose and how do you suppose you can help me? Arki asked as she sat down but didn't let go of the wand. I am doing this because I like kids and I don't want them to suffer like me. Also it is regret of mine as I did not take action when I was little kid and I saw a similar situation. Your parents are dead, I killed them. Do you know how that will affect you? Naruto said in a friendly tone, but he already expected the answer. You what? Arki exclaimed as she got up from the seat. Calm down. I killed them because they were evil trash that didn't to exist. I know I did that on an emotional outburst, which is why I am willing to take responsibility. Naruto said in a calm tone as he looked at the beautiful girl in front of him. She was better looking than any girl he had ever seen except Tsunade. You are going to give up your life and get executed? Arki said in a confused tone. She was surprised. Absolutely not. I mean, I will take you along with me and settle down away from this empire, or I can have a personal talk with the emperor and he might pardon me for the crime, as I am more useful than some useless nobles. Do you expect me to believe that? Do you think you are strong enough to go past the imperial knight and all barriers to the emperor, and talk to him? Archie asked in an aggressive tone. Her life had been turned around, as she would blamed for this as well, because most people already knew her hatred for the parents. I believe I am strong enough to decimate the whole capital within a minute. You would not believe that, as you haven't heard of me, as I am not from this place. I come from a far-off land beyond the waters, a complete different continent hidden from the world and filled with beings, some of which are stronger than me. I will show you the moves, so let me in your head. Naruto said confidently as his clone placed his hands on Archie's shoulder, that was taken aback by what she was seeing. What kind of magic is this? What level allows for physical copies? Archie misunderstood what she saw and assumed things according to her knowledge that Naruto was a mage of a higher caliber than her. I want to ask the girls. If they accept, then I don't have any other opinion. Archie declined the viewing and gave her word. Thank you for giving me a chance. Just so you know, I will never let any harm come to them. It is a promise I made and I always keep my promise. This extends to you as well, so please depend on me as you wish. Naruto said with a happy smile. It felt like he got younger siblings to take care of now. He had been feeling lonely and filled with hate when he arrived, but spending 4 hours with the cute little ones had pushed the negativity down. Sis, you are back. The girls shouted in unison and hugged Archie with a big smile on their faces. Sis. Big brother Naruto is so awesome. He showed us a new world and we saw him fight fighter mages that threw ice dragons and whales and many other things. It was just so awesome. The kids described what they saw, but their vocabulary was limited, so it was hard for them to word their sight. Is that so? That's wonderful, and now thank you, big brother, for the gift. Archie instructed as she smiled at her siblings and felt they were more excited than ever. She felt guilty for never showing them anything except this house. Thank you, big brother. The girls said in unison as they held Archie. You are welcome. Little ones, I want to ask. Do you want to go outside and live in a forest or a different city where you can play outside the house? I will be there and your sister will be as well. Naruto inquired in a gentle tone. Yes. Archie already knew what they were going to say. They wouldn't have accepted if he didn't say about her coming, but even if they had declined, she knew they would be feeling regret and unhappiness. This was their biggest desire, to play outside with their big sis and enjoy life. She didn't want to deny them when she had been offered a chance. I accept, but what is your plan? We can't move around in the wild with little children, they might get hurt. Archie gave in and asked for more details. There is no problem. We can get out easily without detection. My clone scouted the city at half my speed and no one detected him, so I will carry you out and we can settle in a place which you think is suitable. We can come back later to handle any issues when we are settled down. Naruto explained as he had gotten the information from his clone. He was not worried as the clone's danger sense did not act up when flying in the sky. He can make us all fly, and at a speed which the guards couldn't pick up. How fast is he? He would at least need to be 5 times faster than sound for them not to pick up the signal. Archie was astonished and she remembered the words her sister said, dragons and whales. Large area magic, those are the things these two beasts would be associated with, and that is beyond tier 3, even 4. Okay. Give us time to pack up. We will only take some things. Archie said as she didn't think they carry most of the things as they were running away. No need to hold back and take everything you want. We can store them in a pocket dimension. Naruto said as he heard say that and showed her the giant scroll from which he took out his spear. Spatial magic. I believe now he must not have been bragging. Making those things isn't easy and we only have relics from the past that do those functions. If he made it, then he must be tier 6 or something. Archie nodded and followed the girls as they took out everything they wanted. As all three slept in the same room, most of the items were on hand. Archie left her sisters with Naruto while she went through the house to take some other items to sell for money. If they are running away, then no need to leave valuable items for the loan sharks. The little ones cried out in excitement as they flew through the sky at incredible speed. Everything flashed by in seconds and the only thing they felt was the warmth of Naruto's body as he had covered them in his chakra to avoid killing them through air friction, which was too high for the trio at Mach 100. Naruto had been informed that the Empire was enemies with the kingdom nearby, so he headed in that direction and within moments he was above its territory. He landed near a forest and the wings on his back formed through transformation jutsu vanished. It required concentration and it had been long time since he used it. I have no idea why I never used it like this or why does no one do this. I could have murdered that Akatsuki bastard if I had flown. This the great forest of Tob. Why are you stopping here? This place is swarming with monsters of high tier. Arki questioned as she looked at the dark woods as it was 7 p.m. right now and the light of the moon along with her magic was all that showed them the sights. The forest isn't dangerous for me. It is a place where I have the advantage. The beasts won't dare to approach us so we will stay here as no one can disturb us. Naruto said as his eyes were shining with chakra to allow him dark vision and he sent several clones to make a cottage in the forest using Mokuton. It wasn't strong as a bloodline user and it required massive concentration to combine 3 elements which is why he sent more than 2 clones for such a simple job. The little ones were also scared of the dark so they were stuck to Arki under her light. After waiting for 5 minutes the cottage was done and they walked in. It had lights from one of the basic Fuinjutsu seals that he had learned from Jiraiya but never thought of using it. I guess you did come in handy. Are you not going to sleep? Naruto asked as he looked at Arki sitting next to the twins. I don't feel like it. I need some time to adjust to this situation. Arki replied in a calm tone as she looked up from her book. She was sitting on a chair beside the bed. You don't trust me that why you cannot sleep. I apologize for the inconvenience and hope that you will come to see me as a friend as I see as one. Naruto said in a gentle tone which caused her to look at him. She could feel a tone of loneliness in his words which reminded her of her friends and her situation. I will try to come to terms with this and don't be sorry. I am kind of grateful for your actions. Arki said to make him feel better and not be so guilty. Thank you for accepting my faults. I will be going out as I also can't sleep but don't worry I have left clones outside the cottage for protection and there is a barrier protecting the house as well. Naruto said as he got up from his bed and walked to the door. Take care and come back before dawn. The twins will be worried if they don't see you. Arki muttered in a gentle tone as she had to wish for his safety or else they might die in the forest. I will and you should try sleeping. Lack of sleep is not a good thing. Naruto said as he shut the door behind him. This place is truly beautiful even though it's backward in tech. The architecture is better and people don't dislike me for some stupid reason. Well, the people are actually worse overall from what I have seen and felt till now. I don't remember slavery being a thing back home or ever seen one, though I am pretty sure there are some illegal slavery going on but nothing official. But I still feel better about this place even though I do miss my friends. Really can't believe I strived for their acknowledgement when it was supposed to be the other way around. It feels like I was making up for being a monster and my sins of massacring people. Seriously hilarious and they only finally put down their shitty bias after I almost died for them. I really can't believe how disgusting these people were that they had to be saved countless times to actually forgive me. Hehe, forgive. I wonder if Sasuke will die at that thing's hand or not, though I don't expect it. That thing is pretty much delusional as it continues to deny the darkness of humanity and only seeing the positive. If he didn't have power those people would kill him if an enemy asked. Mother said to find love and give her a lot of grandchildren but what does it feel like to love someone? How will I know, when I love someone? What is love and can I really love someone? Naruto pondered as he walked into the forest with his sage mode on. He could sense the life inside this large forest and he went for the strongest source. There are 4 creatures with very large life force, though one of them has more than anyone combined together. What kind of creature is it? Naruto thought as dashed through the forest and killed of any evil monster that he came across. Bring to heal the other monsters Naruto thought as he made 3 clones that dispersed in different directions as he decided it was better to command the monsters to bring peace in the woods than to kill them. How do we judge monsters from human perspective? If they are hunting for food then it shouldn't be considered evil but I can't let people die so let them be under my control. Naruto concluded as he arrived in front of a large tree which was bigger than any he had seen even in his world. It had a gaping mouth and Naruto could tell it was a monster but it seemed to be not completely awake and didn't react to him as he was in sage mode. Please do not disturb the demon tree, it will kill us all. A feminine voice came from the side and Naruto turned to see a green plant-type humanoid. What are you? Naruto questioned as he approached the being. His aura strengthened and it affected her mind as well. Bring her tranquility. I am a dryad, my name is Pinison. This tree is a demon that can even rival the Dragon Lord. Please do not disturb it, soon heroes will come and they will subjugate it. Pinison muttered in a soft tone. I do not wish for it to die but do not worry it will not hurt you anymore. I am going to talk to it so relax here little lady. Naruto said as he patted her head. The natural energy around his body made her drunk on it. Naruto left the girl and jumped onto the tree, arriving on its head filled with green moss and sat down in a lotus position. He placed his hand on the head and closed his eyes as he tried to connect to the large being. Though the connection of nature, his mind connected with it, but all he could hear was mindless rage and hunger. It has no intelligence and only acts on desire. Sad, but I shall use it. Naruto thought as he overpowered its mind and placed commands inside it to follow his command. This was reinforced with seals on its body. Naruto stayed on the treant's body the whole night and kept on utilizing his senjutsu chakra to reshape it into something presentable and regal looking. I am definitely still childish, but it matters not as I have accomplished a dream. I have fucking dragon bitches. Naruto shouted with joy as he looked at his partner. Since he already lost his summons, he needed something else to replace that gap. So he reshaped the treant into a dragon which was like a snake and had wings for flight. It was helped with senjutsu chakra, so it was much stronger than before and it could influence nature. The size was enormous. It was 400 meters in length and 150 meters in height. It would have been slow, but since it has natural energy at its disposal, the wood dragon was truly durable and fast. This Naruto concluded by testing it out and letting it fly in the sky, even going into space as he was curious and he discovered something. I don't need to breathe, so why do I do it? Or is this from the sage? Naruto muttered as he sat on Ryu. He was a simple man, so he just named it Dragon. Ryu was like a newborn and considered Naruto as his father. It reminded Naruto of the relation of the Biju with the sage. I can't believe I just did something similar to that old man. Naruto muttered in annoyance, but he knew it was a right choice, so he placed his hand on Ryu's head and a seal was drawn into its body permanently. It was a contract so that he could summon him. Ryu becomes small. Naruto commanded as he flew in the air with eagle wings on his back. Yes, Papa. Ryu replied in an adorable voice as the giant dragon transformed into a 10-inch dragon that snaked around Naruto's arm. They should be awake by now and my clones are done with their work. The food has been collected, so nothing else. Oh. Naruto muttered absent-mindedly, but then remembered the dryad and flew towards her location. Sorry for leaving you hanging. Now you can be happy, the problem has been taken care of. Naruto informed her, and she had already seen the scene of the change. It was miraculous and made her feel jealous at the demon tree getting that energy. Thank you, but I would like to make a request. Pinison muttered in a soft tone as she looked at Naruto with her big green eyes. What is it? Please let me serve you. I am alone in this forest with none of my kind, but Master feels like nature and it is overpowering. I would love to serve Master so I can bask in your presence. Please accept me, I will do anything. Pinison pleaded as she held onto his leg. Naruto looked at her and analyzed her from head to toe. He couldn't feel any evil from her and he didn't mind more companions. I accept your request, but you will have to work. I don't like useless people. Naruto said as he took her hand. This way you will be under my protection and I will know where you are. Naruto said as a seal was marked on her body. It was contract seal and it allowed him to the condition and location along with the ability to summon the bearer. Thank you, Master. Pinison stopped as she didn't his name. Naruto Uzumaki, now hold on. Naruto said as he took her in his arms and flew towards the cottage. You are late, Arki said as she saw Naruto land and her eyes were attracted to two things. Who are they? Arki questioned. I am not late, the kids aren't awake yet and it seems you did fall asleep. These are our new companions. This Pinison our new friend, while this is Ryu my new partner. Ryu is wood dragon, so you can rely on him if I am not there. This is not his true size, so don't worry. Naruto explained as he patted Ryu's head. It felt great to have a pet. A dragon. Did he just tame a dragon? Arki was once again shocked by his actions, especially since he spoke about them so casually, like he went and drank some wine. Let us prepare breakfast for the kids and a bath. If you want to relax then you may do so. Naruto said as he started working on cooking. The items had already been collected, so all he needed to do was mix them up and cook. Naruto didn't make clones to do this work as he wanted to experience it directly and he quite enjoyed it, especially since he was cooking for people who will be his partners for a long time. It made him happy and he hummed a lively tune as he went about the work, manipulating the earth to create a table and using the wind as his knife. Everything he did was magical in the eyes of anyone else. Arki was mesmerized by the scene as she had never seen such a thing happen. The harmonious use of different elements, but it definitely made it worse since he was using it for cooking. The noble arts have fallen so far, to be used for cooking. Arki thought in disbelief and turned away as she didn't want to feel worse about herself. At least now I have clear proof of his prowess and stop worrying. If he wanted to kill us or anything, there would be no need for this farce. He probably just wants a family or friends as he had said. The girls also like him, so he probably is a good person, and as we are going to be stuck together, I will try to make it work. Arki mused as she entered the cottage and walked to her little sisters. Come on girls, it's time for breakfast. Come on, get up, Arki said as she shook the girls that quickly woke up once they were shaken. Their face was filled with a bright smile as they saw their sister in the cottage. It wasn't a dream, was their innocent thought. Big sister, they cried out and hugged Arki. It's okay, I am here. Now get up so we can get a bath. Arki muttered in a happy tone as she helped them out of the bed and guided them towards the room created for bathing purposes. We will be moving to the city nearby. I want the girls to enjoy their living experience. Is that okay with you? Naruto questioned as they sat on a bench watching the girls play with Ryu in the swimming pool Naruto made for them. I think that is best since the villages won't have much amenities, and I hope you are not thinking of breaking any laws. Arki replied and asked as she looked at his calm expression. No, even if I did nobody would know. Naruto said with a smile as he knew that rules were not something he would keep with unless they had taken him into account when they made them. Just be careful. Also, since you don't have any identity, it would be best to take on the adventurer's work. We can get access to cities and facilities without much problem. Arki advised. She would have been one, but the illegal work paid more. Noted. I want you to know that sometimes I will be gone. I want to see the world, so I would leave Ryu with you three for that, but you don't have to worry as I won't leave before I have said everything nicely. Naruto explained in a calm tone. He didn't want to regret like last time, so he wished to see the world, but he also wished to be loved and take care of them. I do not mind. You are already treating us well, so I have confidence in your decision. Arki said in a calm tone. Thanks. I will only leave for a while and come back, so just a long-term mission. Naruto smiled as he looked towards the giggling little children. The scene made him feel calm and actually lowered his desire to move away from them. I didn't know that I loved kids so much, or is it the desire to have a family? Naruto thought as he closed his eyes. Okay, little ones, say goodbye to the forest. Naruto said in a cheerful tone as he stood beside Arki and Pinison with Ryu tangled around his left arm. Goodbye forest, the little ones said in unison as they walked to Naruto and hugged him. It was already afternoon and Naruto had decided it was time to move. He had commanded the strong beast to mind their duty to bring balance to the region. So the forest will become peaceful for humans. The three guardian beasts would protect humans from the monster and the monsters from the humans. Slowly this should help the humans understand not to attack anymore. Naruto made a clone so that he carried two people comfortably. He would have used Ryu, but Ryu didn't know how to regulate his powers and protect the rider. He could have done it instead, but even he wasn't used to such a thing, so without contact it would be risky. The group flew towards E-Rental and entered without a problem. Naruto landed far away from the city to avoid problems and they walked through the gates. Now they were a big family with no home and in a foreign place. The first place they went to was a motel after giving a small tip to the guard. Naruto left the little ones in the room with Ryu and his clone while he went to the Adventurer Guild with Arki and Pinison as she wished to serve. Naruto walked through the entrance and saw the place filled with brawny men in armors and women. It was filled with a lot of noise since the adventurers could sit down and share their tales or advice. Welcome. How may we help? The guild girl at the counter asked. We would like to register. Naruto replied as he concentrated on the room as he didn't trust people. They had all done something wrong and only direct meeting would show who was good. Certainly, please fill in this form and a small fee of 18 silver coins, she said in a friendly tone as she passed the forms to the trio. Please wait for 10 minutes, your tags should be provided by then. In the meantime you may browse the wall for the quests as you start off as copper rank, please look at those within that range. The receptionist advised as she passed the papers. Naruto nodded and left the counter, heading towards the wall. Naruto, we should just take the ones with more importance so we can rank up. Also we can do these individually since we should be at least mithril rank with our skills. Arki said in a quiet tone as Naruto looked at the countless quests. He could understand the words since the sage must have used some language powers on him, which shouldn't be much for old man that goes around in the time rift. As you wish, but keep Pinison with you, she doesn't seem used to the outside world. Naruto said as he took some goblin killing quests and hunting quests. After getting the quests approved and receiving their dog tags, The group split in two and rushed towards their destination. Naruto watched the girls leave as he looked around the city, filled with evil. I can't let it exist or it will harm the little ones. Naruto thought as he sensed with his Sage mode. He could feel in an unnatural energy that was repulsive to his senses and made him feel the rage of the world towards it. So he walked into an alley and transformed into Kiba while he made a clone do his mission. The clone had to pass the gates, otherwise it would cause problems as they would ask how he did the missions when he hadn't left. Hey Khajiit, how long is this going to take again? I want to know so that I can have all the fun I can get from this place in the time limit. A woman with short blonde hair and delicate appearance, and her smile that showed her cruelty spoke in a casual tone as she sat on sarcophagus in the cemetery of Erental. It will take 2 weeks for us to start the process so you can enjoy your sick tastes, but be careful. I don't want someone strong interfering at this step. A sickly man wearing a red robe spoke as she looked at the woman. He was the leader of the death cult and soon his wish for an undead town would be fulfilled. His underlings were working around the city and cemetery, preparing for the ritual. I guess that's good enough. More to my collection and I have to start thinking of next destination. Clementine spoke calmly as she got up. She was very cautious as she didn't trust the old man. I will keep that in mind. Clementine spoke and suddenly her vision went dark, and she collided against the wall. In the room all living beings exploded into bloody mist and Naruto stood holding his fist which had hit Clementine in the back, but by some luck, it hit her adamantine weapon. Goo, Clementine shuddered in pain. Her bones had broken into pieces and she could feel blood flow inside her organs. Oh, it seems you survived. I guess I should have gone a bit faster and put some more force. Next time I should do that as I seem to have underestimated my foe this time. Naruto muttered in a calm tone. His eyes was shining gold. It felt like he was holding back his madness as he was unnaturally calm. Spare me. Clementine managed to say as she knew she could not fight this monster. Her backbones were broken and her lungs had been pierced by her bones. She was dying and it wouldn't take much time. Spare you? Why should I? Did you spare the people you killed for pleasure? Naruto questioned as he stared into her eyes and she felt like being stared at by giant beast. Her heart constricted from the fear that she had thought never would appear again. Knowledge. Through chattering teeth she said, knowledge, knowledge. That is a good choice of words. I need knowledge. It seems you might know something and you did survive. So lucky you. You get to serve me for life and repent for the wrongs you did. Naruto muttered in a calm tone and smiled as he placed his hand on her head. She screamed in pain as her body healed into perfect condition. It is pain that your victims must have felt, so feel it with your body. He said in a cool tone, as his dark side had more effect on him. It was taking out the anger within. He had to do it as he needed an outlet for his desires and anger. She was evil and deserved it. He decided that he won't act like before, so he had to take the actions or else nothing would have changed. Even if he brought her to the authorities she would die, so it won't matter. Naruto saw the woman collapsed into slumber and put the seal on her body so that she would be tied to him and he could kill her with a thought. He looked around and picked up the items while burying the bodies into the earth with earth chakra. It should be much more peaceful now, only some small trash left that I will take of later and everything is perfect then. Naruto said as he picked up Clementine and headed for the motel. I really need to learn Hiraishin soon or else it will be really troublesome. Running around or flying around as it even that takes time while teleportation would nay instant. Naruto thought as he went through the information inside his head. The sage had given him his legacy, so he decided to honor his parents unlike his counterpart. Big brother, who is this? The twins asked as Naruto brought back Clementine to the motel. She is your new servant and friend, little ones. So if you need something ask her and she will do it. Naruto said in a gentle tone, his rage nowhere to be seen. Really, that's so awesome. We get to have a new friend. The twins shouted in excitement as they hugged Naruto while the clone disappeared, giving him the memories of playing with them. You can play with her tomorrow, for now let her rest as she is tired. Naruto said in a soft tone as he placed his finger on his lips. The twins nodded and Naruto placed her on the bed, while he decided to show the twins around the city and also look for an ideal location where they can buy a house. 2 days passed by since Naruto came to the city. He had bought a mansion with the money as he really didn't see much value in it and wished to make the little ones happy. In those 2 days he had cleaned out the city of any big criminals so that it was completely peaceful inside. In 2 days his team had done many tasks so they ranked up quickly, so they had become the focus of attention, good and bad. Naruto was in the training room, which was the basement of the mansion, with Clementine as she helped him increase his fighting skills. He had lowered his physical stats using a seal to suppress his body. It was training in itself as the seal provided resistance to movement, so his speed had lowered to his foe's level, but he couldn't really change his body's strength except not apply chakra enhancement. Master, you are doing better now, Clementine said in a respectful tone. She feared him, and rightfully so. But she respected strength, and he was not a bad master, who only beat her up in combat or when she was trying to act rebellious. Still not enough, Naruto replied as he looked at the cuts on his body. He was training to bridge the skill gap without any extra sense or the stat gap. He always relied on big attacks and stat gap to win, but if the battle was purely hand-to-hand, he would most likely lose, and he knew it. Lee was weaker than him, but if they fought, he would be on the ground within a short exchange. Clementine wasn't as skillful as Kakashi or Guy or B, but she was a good swordswoman, and he needed experience in fighting those, as most people used weapons in this world. Maybe someone with a very strong sword and my level of strength exists, then I would be at disadvantage, Naruto thought as he sat down, but he wasn't only training his close combat skills but also learning how to use the spear. He had read instructions on it from basic to advanced, but he wasn't book person, so real experience was needed. Master, you are definitely skilled. No close combat fighter should give you a problem, and you are even becoming better at fighting against weapons while being suppressed, so it is something to be proud of, Clementine muttered as she looked at his forlorn gaze. He was still feeling down from his sudden departure, but others didn't about that, so they misunderstood. Thanks for the vote of confidence. You are trying your best, but don't push it. No need to act like that when you aren't feeling it. Naruto smiled and said as he got up. The black spear appeared in his hand. It was a weapon tied to him, so it followed his commands and could transform into anything he could imagine and extend endlessly if he continued to supply it chakra. Master, how rude of you. Aren't I trying to be a good maid? Clementine said with a teasing tone. She acted in such a free way as she knew Naruto would allow it. Isn't that better? Now let's fight. I need to get stronger, but you will also need to get stronger, so do worry about yourself, Naruto said as he thrusted his spear forward. Oh, are you worried about me? She asked as she blocked with escort. It didn't bring, since Naruto wasn't applying such strength or enhancing it with any kind of chakra. Maybe. You are my subordinate, so I cannot allow you to be harmed, Naruto replied calmly as he pulled back and thrust again. She dodged and he swung to the side as the spearhead changed into bladed head. While the original was sparring with Clementine, clone Naruto was playing with the kids in the garden. Ready or not, here I come, Naruto said as he finished counting to 30. They were playing hide and seek. He moved with casual grace and an amused smile. He felt really happy for some reason as he did this and couldn't stop smiling. Where are you, little ones? Come out and I will but you a chocolate. Ah, you are making Big Brother sad, Naruto said in a playful tone as he moved around the garden. There were trees and flowers along with tea area. Naruto already knew where they were as this place didn't have much hiding spots, and he could hear one of them giggling. Caught you, Naruto said as he held Kuaderika. No fair, you definitely used your magic, she said in an adorable tone that he couldn't resist hugging her and rubbing her cheeks. I used my Big Brother senses to find you, so it is not cheating, is that right? You're, Naruto said in a friendly tone as he turned around to see the other one hiding under the bush. Hee hee, she giggled as she got out. Now you two want to try finding me? If you win I will do anything you ask, Naruto gave a tempting offer. Really? Really? Naruto said as the twins had stars in their eyes at the thought, but someone decided to pour rain on their parade. No, you are not. Naruto, you are spoiling them too much. I do not wish for them to turn out like those girls from noble houses, Arki said as she walked closer. Sorry, it's the first time I have experienced having younger siblings, Naruto muttered in a calm tone. He felt kind of guilty when she said those words as he thought how he might end up destroying their future. Big brother, it's not your fault, so don't be sad. The twins hugged him as they felt the mood change. It's okay, just don't buy them things every day. Ask me for advice on what to do and punish them when they are wrong, or else it will affect them negatively, Arki said in a calm tone as she looked at the scene, it making her into a villain of the setting. You are right. I will do that from now on, Naruto replied and then turned to the twins. Little ones, from tomorrow you will be going to school and make friends from outside, Naruto informed them as he had checked the place thoroughly and even placed seals in the place for safety. We don't want to go, please no, the twin cried in fear at hearing that. It was scary thing as they would have to go out of the house away from their big brother and sister. Relax. I will go with you in the start. But after that you have to go alone. Don't you want to be strong like us? Then you have to do this. Naruto explained, but little one's very hard to work with most of the time. In the afternoon, Naruto was checking the requests when he saw one that required investigation of the surrounding area for danger and classifying it with specific ranks. Seems interesting, Naruto thought as he picked it up and checked it with the counter. He left alone while the girls went together as a team. Naruto walked through the city gates and jogged at a moderate pace as he was noting everything down. Naruto passed through the forest around the region and noted things according to his senses, giving the place the appropriate rank. It feels like a peaceful walk. I guess this is how the powerful feel. Naruto thought as he walked and contemplated his choices since he had to move from the city soon. My goal used to be Hokage, so now what should I do? I don't like the feeling of wandering through life with no destination, should aim to be king. Nah, that seems more troublesome than Hokage position. Naruto mused as he remembered the chain of commands for the daimyo. Sigh. Naruto let out a breath of annoyance as his mood dropped. He sensed people that were disgusting to the core. Arrows shot at him, aiming for his legs, but Naruto stayed in place as they collided with his shin guards. Come out already, I know where you are. Naruto muttered as he looked towards the forested area. A group of men walked out with different weapons and all. I guess that won't do for the shining rookie, but we got the numbers, so I advise you to give up and give us all your money. The man in the lead demanded in a confident tone as they had numbers and one of the top warriors of the kingdom in their group. They targeted Naruto since they knew about his mansion and how he was just a newbie, so they thought he might have come from a noble lineage. You must be part of the death-spreading brigade that I have heard of. The only death that spreads today will be yours. Naruto said in a calm tone as locked onto the targets. He didn't want to dirty his hands with gore, so he used earth jutsu and they were swallowed into the swamp. Reminds me of the time Jiraiya sank the bandits. Definitely not a good way to die, but they deserve worse than this for what they have done. Naruto thought as he caught the one who talked to him. The man was sunk to his neck and trying to struggle pointlessly. Let us go. Don't you know who we work for? Brain Unglis, the strongest warrior of the kingdom, is our boss. Let us go and we will forget about it. The man screamed in fright. He couldn't even resist the ability. I don't know who that is and I doubt he can fight me. Now tell me where the hideout is. Naruto muttered in a calm tone as his voice contained hypnotism. He could find it himself, but that would take his precious time. Thanks, you can die in peace. Naruto said as he shot the man with an air bullet through his head and walked away towards his target at full speed as people needed to be saved. Brain Unglis, the man who dreamed to be the top and beat the best warrior in the kingdom. He had lost once during a tournament, and from that day he hadn't stopped training, but in his dedication he had lost his path. He had become arrogant and was only waiting to fight the enemy that had claimed his dreams. He felt that it would be an easy battle and nothing could stop him anymore. He had become apathetic to the lives of people and didn't care how he earned his keep, and having these lackeys was way easier, so he could focus on training while they brought him the necessities. When would be the right time to go challenge him? The tournament or in the streets? An official duel might be better as too many hindrances might get me killed. Brain thought as sat in the hut, leaning on his chair as he stared at the ceiling when suddenly he heard a scream. Brain quickly rushed out with his sword and saw the place had become a bloodbath. The goons that served him were crushed into paste while a youngster was standing in the middle. Unfortunately he survived. Let me end it. Naruto muttered as one of the goons had survived his hit by luck. He just threw punches into the air and concentrated all into an air fist which destroyed the foe from the force. Naruto tapped the ground and they were eaten while he looked towards the strongest being in this place. You must be Brain. I heard you were a good fighter and lucky for you I can sense good in you. You have the spirit that can change for good, so you will serve me, but first let us fight. I wish to experience your skills. Naruto said in a calm tone. His ability to sense such deep feelings only worked on people weaker than him and those with no defense. Brain looked at Naruto with a cool gaze. He was afraid and he knew this battle was already lost as he couldn't see the foe's arms when he moved them to attack. Karma has caught up to me. Will I ever get a chance to fight Gazef? Brain thought as he unsheathed his blade and stared hatefully at his opponent. This was one thing I was saving for him, but my life is on the line. Brain thought as he saw Naruto approach him slowly. Ability boost. Field. Brain took his stance as he waited for his opponent to reach his range. Flash. Brain slashed towards Naruto with his strongest move. A technique so fast that he believed none should be able to see. With this I should have covered the speed gap. You must have practiced hard for this, I like that. It reminds me of a friend so good for you. Naruto said as he took the slash without getting any damage. Of course without chakra enhancement he would have lost his arm, but that was another thing. I really love the chakra cloak ability, so of course I had to copy it. Naruto thought as his hand shone golden and he held the blade. He could break it, but he didn't want to waste weapons. I give up, Brain said as he saw that he couldn't move anymore and he was standing in a completely different place. Good. I don't like pointless struggle when I wasn't even going to kill you. Now you will serve me and repent for the wrong you have done, but I will give you freedom and you will grow even stronger, so don't be down. If you have a dream that is good I will even help you with it. Naruto said as he talked in the illusionary world while placing a seal on the real body. Can I trust you on that? I wish to win against Gazef Stronov, the warrior captain of the kingdom. Brain questioned as he stood straight and sheathed his blade. No problem. I don't know how strong he is, but I can help you achieve that dream easily. Naruto said with a smile. He was already planning to use weight training on them and they had him for the healing service, so no problem of them getting internal damage. I still need to replicate that crown of wisdom as magic level is hard to increase and I can't help with my chakra, or I would have just transferred mine to stimulate her reserves. Naruto thought as he indicated Brain to follow behind as they walked. This place is good. We will use it as our second base. Naruto muttered as he looked at the fortress. It was hidden by the trees and not owned by anyone. The land was already cleared, so it only needed some adjustments, so as he left, Naruto gave the task to his clones. I didn't think you liked to read, Naruto. Arki muttered as she saw Naruto sitting in the public library. I don't, but I also don't like being ignorant, so I am making up for the lost time. Naruto replied calmly as he flipped through countless books since he had started today. He was happy that he operated on a faster pace, or else he didn't when he could get through the required material while he was doing that. The clones were practicing Hiraishin and the chakra cloak. Does that mean you did not complete compulsory education? Arki questioned as she sat down opposite him. She was curious about her companion since they were tied together. I did receive education, but I kind of failed at it as I used to be really hyperactive and couldn't concentrate on such boring things. I guess you could say I was really naive and innocent back then. Naruto said with a smile. The days back then were bad as he could remember the feeling of pain in his heart from the hatred he felt from the people around him and how it was driving him insane. It was so bad that he ended up as an idiot by completely separating the part that understood the world in its entirety and didn't look away. Arki looked at his expression and thought he must have gone through some bad events. That smile showed sadness and she was used to seeing such empty smiles in her life as an adventurer. So are you interested in history? Arki asked as she saw the book in his hand. Yes. It helps us avoid the mistakes of the past, and more importantly it shows us what people are capable of, so you can add those to your predictions when reading people. Naruto replied in a calm tone. Naruto believed everything has its purpose, and even if he didn't remember much of the teachings from Konoha, he remembered to utilize anything that looked important and always read your opponent. Though I don't remember many people fighting like ninjas back then, even when sensors weren't in the battlefield. Naruto thought as he felt Arki move to his side. Let me help you with this. I may not be strong as you, but I do have extensive knowledge of many different subjects. Naruto looked at her earnest expression and nodded. Okay. I am happy that you seem to be opening up. Shit, Brain muttered as he punched the ground in annoyance. Hey, are you done already? I thought you were going to show me my place. Clementine said in a teasing tone. She was wearing the Anbu clothing that Naruto ordered as it suited her combat style. Brain stared at the hateful woman that had been playing around with him since he arrived yesterday. So it was predictable that he would end up challenging her to combat, but he ended up on the ground. I can't believe I lost to another human. I thought I was good enough to fight Gazef. Brain thought as he stood up and stared at his foe. I am not done, but are you this strong by yourself, or was it the master? Brain questioned as this will change the way he thought. Even without master's training I would have won with some trouble, but not with such ease, as I am a lot faster and physically stronger than before. Clementine said with a smile which was very cat-like. The daily spars had increased her skills by a lot as she fought someone with such high stats that it forced her body to adapt, as she could almost diet every day during practice sessions. I might be becoming a masochist as I enjoy these spars very much. She thought as she shuddered at the image. It was just so good. How bad is it? Brain questioned as he hadn't started yet, and he felt better knowing that his loss was a result of that monster's training. Very, very painful, and soon you will love it. Clementine answered with a smile, and it sent chills down his spine. So let us continue until you can't move a muscle anymore, she said as she dashed at him with full speed, and dodging his sword, she punched him on the right cheek, sending him rolling. Come on, try harder. Move your body faster. I really don't like to control people, but sometimes I believe we must compromise. Naruto thought as he looked at the destitute people of the city. They were young but didn't have the guts to become adventurers and had not much skill. They barely survived by manual labor. Naruto had decided to make them his subordinates, an organization like the Anbu, so that they can work and earn, but mostly for him as they would deal with things in his stead and gather information like the Anbu used to do. Sadly, I have to actually train them and suppress their fear through mind control. Naruto sighed as he had to do so much if he wanted to have a controlled life in this world, as he had come to dislike chaotic atmosphere. Master, how may we serve? The man he chose as the leader spoke. He was tall and bulky from his work, but he was too kind and cowardly. People took advantage of him and he couldn't fight with monsters to earn better pay, so his family was suffering through poverty when Naruto gave him the choice. He did say control people, but that only meant to suppress undesirable qualities and so that none could betray him, not that he would control their personalities. Go and register at the guild, and go fight some monsters for today. See the result of my power, and after that real training will start. I believe in you all, especially you, Leonidas. Naruto muttered in a gentle tone as he patted his shoulders. Naruto was not in his real form but using the body of pain. We will do as you wish. Leonidas replied in a loud voice as with his comrades they marched out of the building that was their base from now on. Naruto had bought it yesterday and gathered these people into a group as he had transferred a tiny amount of his combat knowledge into their heads. It was heard and he could do a little bit, but it was enough for them to start. Never thought I would ever do these things, but steps have to be taken so that nothing goes wrong. Naruto thought as he popped. He was a clone and the memory was transferred to the original. The next day the group arrived at the guild and found a unique quest. It didn't pay much, but it caught Naruto's attention. Escort the dwarf to his home. Sounds good. We will be taking it and we will be together this time. Naruto took the notice and walked to the counter while the members were surprised except Brain, who was not familiar with the dealings. Are you sure you wish to take this? It might be very dangerous as dwarfs are just bad luck these days, the receptionist said in a quiet tone. I will take it, Naruto replied without much consideration as he wished to learn more about these new beings. He received the instruction, walked out. Wonder why these guys have such a bad image here. Maybe they have problems with other races. Naruto, will the girls be okay without us? Arki questioned. Don't worry. Ryu is there and so is Clementine. I don't think anything could go wrong. Naruto assured her as he had made sure to make a barrier around the place while everything else was also under his control. The school was his already and he was increasing its level as the teaching style was worse than he was used to. Many things had changed since I came to this world. I had become stronger than before and understood things I never considered before. The old sage had given me a lot that I questioned whether I should even hold a grudge. The abilities and the knowledge given had made me more than human. I had applied techniques that made me unkillable unless my whole body was erased. It made me wonder if I was going through some limits that should not be surpassed. Even though I enjoy my time here, I still dream of the old world and my friends. I wonder if I should go back once I am ready, but then I remember that the sage chose an incomplete version over me, which meant he must have become stronger beyond my dreams, and two of the same being cannot exist, so if I returned I would be absorbed. So I will shoot for the stars, literally shoot for the stars. Leaving no possibility of failure and regret, but who knows, maybe by that time I might not even want it anymore as time changes everyone and that goal is still too far. Naruto and company met the dwarf outside the city. He was waiting on his horse. Thank you for accepting my request. My name is Duncan the First. Hope we have safe a journey together. The dwarf introduced himself in a friendly manner. Naruto Uzumaki. We will do our best to make it so. Naruto replied as he observed the client, his first time seeing one of their kind. Do you not have a mount? Duncan questioned as he saw them on foot. We usually don't need one as we always take tasks that are close to the city, but it is not a problem. Naruto said as he placed his hand on the ground. Golem creation. It was the jutsu used by the third Tsuchikage and Naruto marveled at the technique. It was unique and very flexible. Two large lizard-type golems were created from the ground, with sitting space for the riders. Naruto got up on one and Arki sat behind him while Brain took the other one. You are a magic warrior and that is some high-level magic. How big can you make the golem? Duncan questioned curiously. Sorry, that is a secret. Naruto replied in a calm manner. Duncan looked at him and nodded, no problem. I hope I am not being too intrusive. Naruto nodded and the group started their journey to escort Duncan to his home in the Dwarf Kingdom. Arki sat behind Naruto and was confused as she was used to his usual antics, which meant that tasks were finished within hours and minutes. Naruto. Why are we doing this? Couldn't you fly him there? Arki inquired. I could, but that means I can't enjoy the journey. I wish to see the world and experience new things, so this way I can do that. Naruto replied in a gentle tone. He had become closer to Arki, so he listened to her words. Is that so? But isn't that guy really suspicious? I think he is hiding something from us and he seems to be looking at you a lot from the side. Arki whispered as she noticed that Duncan took glances at Naruto in a hidden manner. I know, but he doesn't mean bad. He seems to be expecting something from me. So I will wait for him to open up. It might be something interesting. Naruto said with a smile as he had made sure to read the emotions of the people around him. The sage mode he had learned before had become much smoother now, as he could enter with a thought and stay in it for 3 hours. I never considered using it like this before as I thought it was too intrusive, but I am a ninja, why should I even care for such a thing? Safety always comes first, so check any way you can, even if it breaks someone's privacy. I see. I will trust your judgment. Arki muttered in a calm manner as she took out her book and leaned back in her seat. Naruto smiled and took in the view as the mount moved at a moderate pace so they could move with Duncan in a comfortable manner, with Duncan in the center while the 2 lizards on both sides. I wonder what he is hiding, but I know he must have seen me on one of my missions as I do remember his life signature. What does he wish to accomplish? He didn't have much money, so is he trying to drive me into an enemy that he believes I might beat? Naruto contemplated as he looked at the surroundings. Whatever it is, I hope it is worth my time. I don't mind helping as he is a sad man. Naruto decided. He might be angry inside at certain things, but in the end he was still Uzumaki Naruto, the hope that shone in the darkness for all beings. Duncan, join us. I heard dwarves eat a lot and drink without control, so show me a genuine proof. Naruto invited the man who was sitting alone with simple salted meat and was glancing towards them because of the smell. Is that okay? I can't pay you for this. Duncan said as he walked closer. He was a reserved man, and even though his stomach desired to devour the delicious food, he held back. We don't mind, so join us, as I didn't take your mission for the money but for the experience and adventure. Naruto replied as he dragged him by the hand and sat him down beside him. Thank you. I haven't had such a good meal for a long time. Duncan said in an emotional tone as he ate the food with fervor and drank beer. The night was quiet and it seemed to be so peaceful, but Naruto had already sensed the enemy that had surrounded them. Wonder what they want. Naruto thought as he walked away from the group as he made a barrier to protect the site. The presences followed him silently as he walked far enough. They stayed hidden, not making a sound. You can come out now, or do you want me to be harsh on you? Naruto muttered in a calm voice as he stood tall. Apologies, but we were enamored by your presence. It is something that draws us in and we become silent naturally. A beautiful voice spoke to him as girl landed on the ground. She had silver hair and pointy ears. Elf. What would you want with me? I don't remember interacting with your kind. Naruto said in a curious tone. The elf girl stood up and looked at him with adoration. She was quite beautiful and he had seen no one that could surpass her beauty, but he wasn't the type to be lost in appearances. Elf. What would you want with me? I don't remember interacting with your kind. Naruto said in a curious tone. The elf girl stood up and looked at him with adoration. She was quite beautiful and he had seen no one that could surpass her beauty, but he wasn't the type to be lost in appearances. My name is Emilia and I am the leader of this group. We can be considered traitors of our kind as we oppose the king, but that has reason. You see, our so-called king is a madman and he does not see us as people but disposable toys. He has dragged us into a war and made our life intolerable. Emilia muttered in an emotional tone that Naruto could feel the hate she held for this king from each word. And what does this have to do with me? Naruto questioned. We have been hiding in the human territory, searching and thinking of a way to help our people, but we couldn't find anything. We had almost decided to go for a suicide mission when we sensed that large amount of nature energy. It was enormous and even more than what the king is capable of or anyone else in the 200 years I have lived. I know this has nothing to do with you, but I plead for your assistance to save our kind and become our king. Amelia looked at him with hope and her companions did the same. Guess I was careless thinking no one could sense nature like me. Why should I do this? Naruto felt like saying yes but he resisted, he didn't want to get into things that had nothing to do with him. Please consider it, I will do anything and you will rule as king. If the current king persists our kind might be totally enslaved by the humans. Many innocents have died and more will die but the king is strong so he won't die without causing even more damage to the humans so please. Amelia begged as she went to her knees, to her this was the only hope and she knew that person wasn't bad but she wasn't sure if he was really selfless or not. I don't trust secondary information from strangers but I will check it out after I finish the current mission. Naruto said as he looked at the pitiful beings on their knees in front of him, he could tell she was telling the truth but he couldn't tell if it was the complete truth or not. Thank you, Your Majesty. We are happy that you have given it a thought. Amelia said in a grateful tone and the others echoed her words. Just call me Naruto, I don't like formalities. We will meet a week later in my house, for now you can relax or do whatever you want. Naruto said as he turned around. Your Majesty, would you allow me and my partner to accompany you? It will allow us to get to know each other better. Amelia inquired as she stood up and beside her a male elf stood like a bodyguard. Sure, but do not make trouble and stop calling me that. Just call me Naruto or I will throw you out. Naruto replied in a calm tone as he walked towards the campsite. Amelia, have we made the right choice? Will the others accept him? The man beside her asked as the others dispersed. Subaru, we have no other choice. The others will love him as he is loved by the spirits in nature. He is closer to the world than we are so there should be difficulties except killing that scum. Amelia replied as she looked towards the night sky. Her life had been tragic as a result of the pointless war and now she was living like brigand. I will trust your words as I can't tell much about such things. Subaru said as he scratched his head, he was Amelia's guard as she was from one of the noble houses and right now he was missing his wife a lot. Don't worry. You can see Rem after a week. Amelia said with a smile, she could read her companion like an open book. The next morning, Naruto explained to the others about their new companions and mentioned them as his subordinates. Duncan and Brain didn't question a thing but Arki had been with Naruto for more than 2 weeks by now so she could see through that lie easily as Naruto didn't know about elves. So who are they, if you don't mind? Arki whispered as she sat behind him. Some elves that want to serve me so I will be checking the elf kingdom after the mission. Naruto replied. Are you planning to participate in their war? You do know that it was their king who started it, he is a very disgusting being. Arki muttered with disgust as she had heard about the king's actions. I am not joining anyone evil so don't worry. I am a good judge of character and I know if a person is evil or not so I will act accordingly when I am on the scene. Naruto said in a calm tone. Are you going alone? Do you want to come? I believe it might be necessary but we will decide once we get back home. Arki said as she thought of her sisters and considered how long such a trip might take. I was considering going alone but you are right. I should take someone with me and I will see to it once we finish. Naruto thought of her words and thought about using his subordinates in real battles, and for information as he lacked real knowledge which can't be gained from books as not everything is written down. When do you think they will be back? Kuaderika questioned her twin sister as they sat in the garden with Ryu and Clementine some distance away from them. They should be back by next week. That's what Big Brother said, Yua replied. I have been thinking that we should be training. Yua muttered as she looked at her sister. We really have the same thoughts. I have also been thinking that. This way we can always be together with big sister and brother. Ku said with a smile, wonderful. Let's ask Miss Clementine. Yua said as she got up with Ku. They had been feeling lonely even if they had made friends with the people of the city as they were more attached to their sister and Naruto. The end. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.